Good afternoon, my fellow Americans. Right. Well, thank you. Right, okay, people, this is a response to obvious sophistry and deception that is going on by certain characters. This character today has professed to be someone who is a flat earther, whatever the fuck that means. Now this character is just a bimbo who flashes her tits at men and hopes to garner some sort of attention while crying about everybody else getting attention. So the main point of this is to show the obvious absurdities and the sophistry that is being employed by these characters, because again, I'm going to reiterate it, water is the measuring tool. Water totally debunks the globe. Water is the most accurate tool we have in order to establish the possibilities of where we live. Earth is a level container. Okay, now I've proved that over and over again. Everybody can test this for themselves. If you're no lazy, you need to stop paying attention to people on YouTube, social media, bimbos like her, or people like me, right? You go and test these things for yourself, understand the claims, and, you know, understand how these people are misrepresenting their claims. So this is fair use. This is an analysis and commentary on someone else's video. So they may well try some sort of copyright shenanigans, but they're putting my name in the comments section, and it's obviously directed at me, you know. So this is fair use notification, or whatever the fuck it is to be, the jargon that you use. And as I say, we're going to play through this, and I'm going to highlight the absurdities and the total twisted, deceptive nature of this woman. Okay, so just bear with me a wee second. So I'm going to I'll show this link here. I'm going to screen share to see it, so I'm going to be careful that I do not show up what I want. Okay. Right. So the very first thing I want to show you here, people, is sophistry and what it actually means. We'll take this definition as accepted, and I'm going to take it that you accept this definition. The use of clever but false arguments, especially with the intention of deceiving. A fallacious argument, right? So, what I'm going to show you in a wee minute, right, we might as well just start with this character's video. So here we are. I'll skip by the nonsense.
There are a lot of reasons. One of the topics that I'd like to kind of look at a little bit more closely in this video is whether we can use our senses to gather truth about our world. I believe that our senses give us information about the reality of our world, but I don't think that that in any way gives us truth about our world.
Right, so right away here we have this obvious twisting of things. We can't trust our senses to give us truths about the world, yet here we are. This woman is sitting there with makeup on, with clothes that have been created and sewn together. She has a hairdo. She's using technology to upload her nonsensical sophist videos, but yet she still has the cheek to sit here and say that your senses don't give you any truth about the world. This woman is so delusional and deceptive, it is incredible. Continue.
All it is information that's already been interpreted by the various mechanisms between our senses that are in contact with the world and our conscious mind, and the images and the information that kind of gets through to that conscious
So you will notice here that she's saying images and information, because that is what this deceptive woman wants to focus on. She wants to focus purely on visibles. This is where she is aiming at. She is aiming at visibles, purely visibles, which we will get to. Why, and that is the reason why myself, Gav, and many other people have actively shown these things to be true, that you cannot trust a visual representation alone. You have to have substance, but I'll get to that.
Experience of the world that we have. And so I am strongly in disagreement with flat earthers who tell their followers, because some flat earthers have friends and subscribers, and some flat earthers have.
So here she's trying, you know, a bit of slander, a bit of propaganda that, you know, I am some sort of celebrity and I have followers. So she's not only insulting me, she is insulting you people who pay attention and who are already aware of this sort of information. So she's insulting you straight away.
Our senses don't give us truth in the same way that data doesn't give us truth.
Your senses don't give you truth, but again, you're sitting there dressed, you've put earrings in, you went and got your ears pierced. You have people who have performed things on your body by piercing your ears, whose senses, touch, eyesight, balance were all in great working order. The tools that they used to pierce your ears were working absolutely perfectly. So I do not know where you're going with this. Well, I do know where you're going with it, but you're not very clever.
True. Everything has to be interpreted, and that interpretation relies on meaning.
Images can be interpreted. Visibles alone can be interpreted. Substance, actual substance and its dimensions cannot be interpreted. They are part of the objective reality that you are subject to. It does not change in regards to your perceptions or your beliefs or your wishes. But I will highlight these points in more detail shortly.
And categorization, how we make sense of things, how our...
So you can see here that she is using purely visibles and how we are deceived by colour, which none of us deny. We have actively spoken about these things and how your eyes alone based on visuals are not enough in order to understand what something actually is, which is why I always say to people, a visible looking at the sky without understanding the actual substance is not enough, because your eyes can be deceived.
Our brain makes sense of what's relevant and what it can ignore or dismiss. And to pretend that that's not true is a lie. So, one of the
nobody pretends it's not true. Again, this woman that's trying to misrepresent.
Intentions of this unnamed YouTuber
Me.
Is that water simply doesn't curve. I reject the Globe Earth model, but I do it based on good reasons, not based on lies or misunderstanding.
No, she's the liar and the one who's misrepresenting. Water doesn't curve, when I have clearly spoke on numerous occasions of meniscus, adhesion, surface tension, and the experiment that she is about to show is static.
Of science, and I think that that's important, because otherwise we can convince people of the flat earth model using wrong information and maybe persuade them, but as soon as they encounter anyone with scientific knowledge, that person will be able to persuade them that the flat earth is not the truth, that the globe model is correct, just by
People can try and persuade with words all they like, Mrs. The bit that you're missing, because again you keep referencing visual representations, we are talking about actual substance. There is no scientist alive who is going to actively deny the physics of liquid and how it behaves. Only people like you, only sophists with a hidden agenda and a deceptive method.
Reminding that false information. So when flat earthers go around saying that the water can't curve, and that's proof of the flat earth.
The thing again is, bodies of water, bodies of standing water, do not and cannot conform to the exterior of objects. The surface of a body of water, even if there is wind acting upon it, the body in its entirety cannot be bent. You cannot take the surface of a body of water and bend it and maintain the bend upon the surface of the body of water. Now, this character knows this. She knows it in great detail, but yet she's still trying. Now, is it because she's an absolute moron, or is it because she has an ulterior motive, an ulterior agenda that she is trying to work towards? And for me, the ulterior motive or agenda would be to confuse and to string this out so that they can try and get their way, whatever their way might be. These people know that water is the most accurate measuring tool. It totally cuts through the globe and destroys it. So this character is desperately, desperately trying to push it aside by utter lunacy.
Water only conforms to the shape of its container, and so therefore on a convex shape, it would just slippity slide right off. That's not true.
Yes, it is true. Mrs. Please provide practical examples. Water will not sit on the exterior of shapes. It will fall off. Unless you're using ferrofluid with metal filings within it, and you are then employing a magnet, which I have shown in detail before.
The globe model suggests that there's a magical force called gravity that holds the water in this curved position. So here's an experiment showing a different invisible magical force holding water in a curved holding water in a curving path, which according to certain flat earthers should be impossible, because according to them, our experience of the world dictates that water never curves under the power of some kind of invisible force.
See, again, the woman is trying to misrepresent. It's bodies of standing water. What she's about to show is water running out of a tap, right? Which is not a representation of the claim. The claim is a potato rock in a vacuum with standing bodies of water clung to and conforming to the exterior shape.
And that water only ever lies flat, only ever
in a body. Once it collects into a body, yes, the surface will be horizontal and flat.
Forms to the...
Unless there's wind, of course, and then we will have waves. But the point is, now get it through your thick skull, and the same as every other sophist out there, it is the body of water. If you start to bend the body of water, the shape will not be displayed upon the surface. The surface will not show the bend, okay? Same as you can have any shape, any construct underneath a body of water, you will never see it displayed upon the surface.
Inside a container in which it's placed, and so water falling freely should always and only fall straight downward. And this experiment proves that that's not the case. This experiment proves that under the power of an invisible force, water curves independently of any container. This doesn't prove that the Earth is a globe. What it proves is
that you're an absolute fucking numbskull, is what it proves.
That the claim that flat water somehow proves flat Earth is not a rational claim. It's not the right way.
No, it's not rational. It's not rational to observe your actual tangible reality and observe substance and represent the claims that are being made to you. No, that's not rational at all. What you need to do is ignore that, misrepresent your claims, lie, employ sophistry, and then show bollocks like you're about to show right now. At the same time, you're acting like a child. You're playing childish music. Who are you trying to appeal to here?
To go about promoting the flat Earth theory.
And there we have it, people. There we have it. Okay, so this is part of the sophistry. Now, anybody with any kind of functioning brain, just slightly, would understand that the claim that is being made to us is that we live on a potato-shaped rock with gas and water clung to it, flying through a vacuum, untold many miles per hour. What we see here is a fucking tap with water flowing out of it and a static charge upon the plastic brush that is then having an effect on the flowing water, as you can see. Now, if the claim was that Earth is a faucet or a tap with water running out of it into a sink, which is a container, and if she was stopped being lazy and utterly stupid, she would observe what happens when the water falls into the container and how the surface behaves. Now, what she should do is fill the sink up, then get her wee hairbrush and see what she can perform with the body of water once it's collected in the sink, in the container. See if she can get the brush or the comb to somehow bend the surface of the body of water once it collects into the container. And she's added dramatic music as if she has revealed some mystical, unsolved mystery, when these things are well understood and spoken about openly and accepted. And here again, she is now trying to twist your mind and perform our sophistry at an even deeper level. Now, what you're seeing here is a visual. This is purely a visual, and it is having an effect on your eyes. Okay, so this is one of the reasons why visuals alone cannot be conclusive proof of anything. Subscribe to my channel. Don't subscribe to this person's channel. She is an absolutely confused, twisted, manipulative, childish moron. She seems to be acting like a child in order to appeal to men. Now, I would love to know who the men are who are attracted to childlike women. It is really bizarre. And really deeply concerning for me that a woman, a mature woman, would act like a child in order to sway people. That is what she is. She's a manipulative woman. So again, she thinks she's proven a point by showing something that you think is a colour and it's not a colour, which is just purely a visual representation. The thing that she's missing is that that dress is an actual substance that is actually tangible. It is not just a visual. We can actually touch that substance. We can measure it. The substance was produced, right, through using machines, through an understanding of objective reality and the substance that is a part of our objective reality. That is how we come up with new stuff like clothing. Same again. All visuals. All visuals. Okay, so again here we have a visual where your eyes are being deceived and you think that it's slanted when it's not. It's parallel lines. Again, proving my point that only a visual is not enough. But if you took that paper and you took an actual substance, a ruler, and you measured the space between each gap on each line, you would find that the spacing were the same, because you have the substance. You could take this image, you could get it on a card form, which is another substance. You can take your ruler, which is a substance, and you could measure it. Okay, so all we get here is visuals, and again she's showing a body of water which, you know, finds its level and the surface is always horizontal, which is the claim that is being made. So let me see here, other reasons. So we can't trust our senses according to morons and dipshits like this, but lo and behold, we can have things like this. No, don't trust your senses. Don't trust your touch, your eyes, your balance. You know, we can carve intricate shapes and patterns into minuscule things. You know, detailed But you can't trust your senses. You can't trust your senses to produce the pencil, nor could you trust your senses to produce the ruler. According to these people, you cannot trust your senses. Therefore, there is nothing rational that anybody can say. There is nothing truthful about any part of the world whatsoever, unless, of course, it comes from certain institutions who have special powers because they can trust their senses, apparently. But no, we can't. We are not allowed to trust our senses. Your senses can be deceived, only in visual form. Again, okay, so here we have an internal combustion engine, so complex. Again, the internal combustion engine is based in substance. It can be measured, it can be put to test, it can be understood, and it can be applied. There is nothing about an internal combustion engine that is going to deceive you, that is illusory, it is factual, it is part of your objective reality based in substance that has been mined from objective reality. Illusion, an instance of a wrong or misinterpreted perception of a sensory experience. A deceptive appearance or impression, a false idea or belief. So, this character, hang on just to stop the screen share. Where am I? Right, so, as you can clearly see, people, this character and many like her are actively trying to deceive you. They're trying to confuse the whole thing. They want to perpetuate it and string it out for as long as they possibly can. They don't want anything conclusive. They do not want people committed to their senses, their understanding of actual substance in the reality. Right? Water proves beyond any shadow of a doubt that you do not live on the exterior of any shape. You live in a contained level system. Now that contained level system can be bowl shaped. The oceans can have up and down bits, or they could be flat at the bottom or bowled, or they could have mountains under the ocean. The surface of the body of water from one point to the other is always level. Right? The point is that you cannot bend the body of water and maintain the bend upon the surface. Orphan Red or any other sophist muppet that is out there. So keep coming. I'm surprised you never showed drips in meniscus or adhesion or surface tension. Right? You have shown static charge on a plastic fucking comb attracting water running out of a tap. What the fuck is that proven in regards to any claim? Absolutely nothing. It is a misrepresentation of the claims that are being made. Mystical invisible forces, static and electricity are well known and accepted. Magical gravity, with its, preferences for different things, is another matter altogether. So again, she's just twisting words and trying to portray things in a certain light. She is a moron. Okay, so let me go and have a wee look at the comments that were put underneath. So Harry Growler was there. You are misrepresenting the claim. The claim is defined at the beginning of each show, question mark. So this simply renders this presentation as dishonest. Well done. Absolutely spot on, Harry. So she comes back with utter nonsense. I thought FE was supposed to be about truth, not clinging to falsehoods because they're comforting or easy, or because someone we admire or follow says it's so. Well, again, you absolute muppety a woman, you. It's not because somebody you like says so. Go and fucking test it yourself. As I said, keep the tap running, let the water collect in a body into the sink, right? Your sink that has been levelled off by tradesmen who understand and apply these understandings in everyday reality. They levelled your sink off so that when you fill it, the water doesn't spill out. You absolute buffoon. Right? Fill your sink, mess with your plastic charged comb and see what you find. Go and get a plastic globe or any other exterior shape and try and get a body of water to stick to it. No ferrofluid, because the oceans are not ferrofluid, right? Neither are rivers or lakes or dams. No feral fluid, water. Shame on flat earthers trying to make excuses on this. You're the only one that's making excuses, missus. You are giving your game away easily here. You are so transparent and clearly obvious about what your game is, missus. So they can keep believing a wrong claim and keep worshipping a false guru on YouTube. Again, she's in here with insults. Part of her sophistry, part of her manipulative ways. This woman is a vile, vile piece of work, is what she is. Water curving under the influence of an invisible force is what he claims isn't possible in regards to the claims that are being made, woman. Nobody denies static force, right? You're just grabbing that from thin air, trying to attach it to somebody as a misrepresentation. You're a fucking devious little bitch. So Harry comes back, if you're going to attract attention, re his claim, why don't you start by using an actual quote in the interest of truth? Shouldn't be too difficult, as he seems to define his terms each week for this exact purpose, so there is no misunderstanding. You keep mentioning the word truth, but I don't think you would recognise it if it jumped up and bit you on the arse. Spot on, Harry. So she's come back. Watch his first few interviews where he points at the water and gets people to admit that they have never seen water curve. Yes, and I explain to people, and the visual representations that I show them are standing bodies of water. Nobody has ever demonstrated or witnessed a standing body of water bending or displaying shapes upon its surface. I'm not even going to go any further. This woman is a fucking piece of shit. All right? She's a lying sophist. For me, she's obviously employed by this fucking agenda. She's no honest. Anybody with any ounce of honesty would be able to see through this crap. The only thing I think she's hoping for is to try and attract gullible, stupid men who have a preference for childlike women. How fucking twisted and warped is this person? Huh? So, again, visuals. Let me have a wee look. So, let me just screen share with you yet again here. Okay, so we have loads of optical illusions which are visual based. Now let's have a look at this one. Okay, now this is an actual, we'll take this as being an actual corridor and an actual building made of substance. Now you will look at that and see this dip or a apparent dip in the floor here, and to your eyes alone you would think there is a dip in the floor. But because this is all actual objectively truthful substance, what you can do is you could actually go up and touch and find out if there is an actual divot or dent here, and you would find through, you know, your other senses that there is no dip there. If you depended purely on a visual, you would be believing that there was a dip there. Okay, so we take an image like this and we'll say that these were actual substances and they weren't a drawing. So if this was a cylinder, we could say made out of concrete. What this moron and many other morons want you to think is, ooh, my senses we don't know what's truthful. Well, if you can see the mouse here, every dimension and every aspect of this substance, every part of it, if it was to be made of metal, and I was to strike you with force with even just the slight edge of that, or the more blunt edge here, or the flat surface, or whatever, it is going to impact your physical body. It is going to have an effect upon your physical body, because there is an objective reality. There is substance that can be known, that can be used and applied. What she is describing or offering is absolute fucking lunacy. apparently nothing can be known. Your senses are that flawed that you can't even know that your hair's done properly or that you have put your clothing on, nor can you trust yourself to cross a road or pick your nose or wipe your bum. I mean, none of that is true, apparently, because you can't trust your senses. So there must be people out there walking about with shite up their back, snotters hanging from their nose, and being knocked down by traffic left, right, and centre. What an absolute muppet. Honestly. So I should be back. So that's enough of that. So again, these clowns should be called out on the fucking nonsense that they try and perpetuate, right? Oh, I showed the link. Oh dear. Well, if we get sniped, it doesn't matter. It's already done. What I wanted to do has been done. So snipe away. Snipe away. So things like a simple lighter. Can't trust your senses. There is nothing you could know about objective reality. So that's not really here. It's not really creating a spark to ignite the gas which is contained within it. A contained pressurized system, you know, contained pressure, gas, flint, mechanical wheel that sparks the flint to produce a flame, if I can get it to work. And now it combusts and it ignites my tobacco and my skin that I put together using my senses. You know, substance, another substance interacting with another substance. You know, it's illusory. I'm not really here. I'm not really here and I'm not really smoking this. Just all an illusion. You can see this narrative that these fuckers continually try and push. Right? Oh, reality can't be known, therefore leave it to us. This is what they're trying. You know, objective reality is there. It's full of substance and it can be known. Again, I'm going to reiterate it. I'm looking into a piece of plastic with a minute camera in it with complex electrical components that has been soldered together using your senses, using human beings who moulded and made it, that made the screen, formulated and put the PC together, understood the electrical components, understood electricity to be able to power it. You know, that gives us this ability to use technology to build houses, to have clothing, to have haircuts. Honestly, I mean, how can any of these people be really serious about this nonsense that they're trying to push? I mean, it's bizarre. Absolutely bizarre. It leaves you with no other option of these people are either mentally retarded to a point of absurdity, right? Or they're deceptive, lying pieces of shite. There is no other avenue to go down. That's it. What are they? Mental retards? Or liars? I'll let you be be the judge of that. You decide what they are. So anybody telling you, oh, you can't trust your senses, define what you're meaning. If you're talking about purely a visual representation, then no, you can't trust that to be known because all you have is a visual representation. Like the luminaries, all we have are visual representations. We don't have any substance, so therefore they have to be excluded until we know the substance. Take a hammer, smack yourself over the fucking head with it. It never hurt. It never cracked your skull open. It's an illusion. There's a difference. There's a difference between that and actual substance that can be known, measured, and applied. Right? So, I don't think I need to keep rattling on about it. I think it is painfully obvious about what is truthful. Okay? Now, in regards to followers, Oh, people, this is the narrative they're trying to, what they're trying to do is dissuade people from congregating on a common platform and sticking together. They want to divide that up, so they're starting this narrative of Dale being the guru and you're just the little minions that follow, so that it appeals to your ego, so that you take the hump with that and you disperse, and then everybody's separated again up into their little boxes and there's no unity for a common goal. That's what they're trying to achieve, right? So there is no gurus when it comes to objective truths. Objective truths are there for everybody to experience and know for themselves, right? So, Orphan Red, you have been deflated. Take your big wobbly jugs and your little girl nonsense and take it to fuck, right? You have been rumbled, missus. You've got not a leg to stand on. Nothing that you could possibly offer in any way, shape or form could justify the lunacy that we have just witnessed from you, right? This is how idiotic you are. You're professing that nothing can be trusted, while at the same time sitting there trying to rebut something. I mean, your logic is so fucking retarded. It's like, oh, I would just put it out its misery. I just can't deal with it. And people wonder why you've got a short fuse. I've got a short fuse for fucking stupidity like that. So, what you should do, you know, Orphan Red or anybody else who thinks that nothing can be known and nothing can be trusted, get into a meditation, convince yourself that bullets and hammers will not penetrate your skull, that won't hurt you, and then get somebody to shoot you in the fucking forehead, smash you over the head with a fucking mallet, and see what happens. Let us know your results. Then come back and tell us that nothing can be known, objective reality is not really there, your senses are flawed. And at the same time, you might want to go and tell some of these artists, these complex carvers, people who can create internal combustion engines, people who can fly aeroplanes at 700 miles per hour, people who can drive Formula One motors on a track at fucking 200 miles an hour at 90-degree fucking turns like that. Go and tell all these people. You go and tell them that their senses have not to be trusted. You absolute fucking spastic. Right, enough of that. So what are we saying in the chat here, people?
I did actually notice one thing that was retaining the water in that video, Dom.
What was that?
It was speaking to us.
Jamie Brown riddle me this. Flat Earth is a psyop to discredit Comb Earth. So I hope that that's clear and obvious for people and what these clowns are trying to push. Right? They're trying to get you to, you know, shift away from committing to you knowing your own senses and your own understanding of the objective reality that you're living in. That's their game. They need to try and perpetuate that, right? So that they can come forward with their idols and their institutions and try and provide us who can't perceive the world with the answers, because somehow they have better apparatus, sensory apparatus than we have in order to assess the world we're living in. I don't know why I went and shut the door, because the door's not there and my hands are illusory and, you know, my senses are flawed, so therefore reaching out to touch another substance and close it, it's not really happening. I don't know why I even done that. I mean, what kind of cuckoo fantasy land do these people think that they're in? Or more to the point, what kind of cuckoo fantasy land do they want you in? Right? Oh, look at my guitar. It's an illusion. I can't trust it. I cannot trust this guitar. No, 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 I'm not playing notes. No, that's not happening. I couldn't trust my will to get the muscles in my fingers to remember and be strong about where I want to position them. I couldn't understand the matter of the guitar, the strings and how they work and how tones work and how tuning works. I can't trust any of my senses. Therefore, I should just go and take all my music DVDs and CDs and bin them. Because what am I listening to? I'm just listening to nothing, apparently. Because I shouldn't trust it because it was done through flawed senses. I have a hatred for this lunacy, and I have a serious hatred for these people that try and perpetuate it. Honestly, I could rag on them forever. I really could rag on them because they deserve it. If they've not got the ability to see past their flaws, if they keep trying to perpetuate this, they're showing their true colours. They've got to be treated as criminals against common sense. They have to be treated as criminals against objective reality. Right? They have to be treated as criminals against your right to assess, discern and understand the world that you're experiencing. This nonsense can't continue. You should not allow it to continue. I really do hope that I've made it perfectly clear, crystal clear, about what this fucking character and many others like her are about. Maggie M, I seen that you were in that comment section as well, so good on you. You know, it's great to see people there who can see through the bollocks and stand up to it. Right? That's what you need. You need to let that presence be known and felt. Right? Because what she is playing on is gullibility. She is playing on people who are not really at a point of discernment and understanding, and she's hoping to sway them. Right? She is a leech. She is trying to play on the weak. She is an abuser. A manipulative abuser. That's what she is. Make no bones about it. She has made it perfectly clear by her very actions and the nonsense that she said. And that goes for any of the rest of them that come at it. Right? So, let's have a wee quick shifty through some of the nonsense comments on my two videos. So a wee look here. Right, we shall go to the second part of water kills the globe, because that's what it does. It kills the globe, because globes cannot hold water. Right, for fuck's sake, we've got 800 and odd comments here. Tommy Lee, I think at this point, those people who come to your videos and claim gravity bends water are just trolls. Sophists, we'll call them. I cannot fathom how anyone can still believe in the spinning ball story. It is painful to think that someone cannot grasp this concept of water always being level in a body, standing body. This is the thing. They just want to get in about the word, the grammar, the words that you're using and try and drag something out. They know fine well what it is you're saying. They know fine well what the point is that people are trying to make. Right? So, oh, Del Boy's a complete retard. Oh, thank you for that. Oh my goodness, you have proved your point with articulation and scientific measurable proofs. Genius, ye. Steve, Rob, you're not killing the globe. By standing there at sea level, they need to go any further. I mean, this is the blinkers that people have on. This character, Justin Lorenzana. Sorry, Del. The ISS, zero-G plane, manoeuvres, and a high school diploma are all part of reality, whether you like it or not. Well, Justin, The point is, the natural world, we are not inside a zero-G fucking plane. Yes, a plane is part of our reality that was constructed by men because they understood substance and reality and they put it into practice. Okay? But the Earth is not inside a zero-G fucking plane doing parabolic maneuvers, right? Misrepresenting the claims yet again. The psychology of refuting what you don't understand is apparently detrimental to some of your cognitive function. Just my observations on a YouTuber gone start raving flat. No, Justin, you are an illogical spastic, is what you are, son. An absolutely illogical moron, dipshit, retard. Okay? Because you are taking contrived conditions, then trying to apply it to a claim that in no way, shape or form represents the actual claim. That is what is termed as sophism, sir. You see, at the end of the day, I enjoy this. I can sit here ragging, getting pissed off, tearing it apart till I'm blue in the face. So keep it fucking coming, you muppets. Keep it coming. Ron Burgundy. Oh. This would be fairly funny, except that you are probably seriously dumb enough to actually believe this shit. I am seriously dumb enough to actually accept facts of objective reality. I am dumb enough to accept what reality is. That's right, Ron Burgundy. That is what makes this so sad, that anyone over 10 years old outside of some kindergarten can believe in shit as retarded as this. So apparently you're retarded if you accept the objective reality that you're faced with. If this is no words and actions of a fucking religious cult, I do not know what is. Think about what these people are asking you. They are slandering and slagging you for accepting objective truths, facts. Right. This is the other thing. This is a dilemma I have. Because I have always just thought, you know, I'm just going to leave a lot of these troll comments in there because at the end of the day, there's nothing to hide. We can refute any nonsense that they want to bring. So in my mind, I thought, you know, it's more honest just to leave the idiocy up there for people to discern and see through it, rather than removing it all and just being cherry picking about what people see, because people need to learn how to sharpen their tools of discernment and critical thought. So how are they ever going to achieve that if they don't ever, you know, analyse what these sophists put in front of them? That is how they will have progress, by analysing the sophists and tearing apart the nonsensical jibber jabber that they offer you. So the only things that I'm going to remove are blatant insults and some of the repetitive nonsense. If it has been dealt with and answered, then there is no reason for them to keep coming. But we know there is a narrative that they're going to keep pushing, because many of these characters are no clever. They are given a task and a button of copy paste, and that is what they do. They're not there to engage or try and understand or progress in any way, shape or form. They are disciples of a cult. That's what they are, right? Dogmatic, no scientific, no logical, no open-minded. The opposite. It is a lie, and there is a push to perpetuate and maintain control, right? With probably new lies coming our way very soon. Right. How are we doing, people in the chat? Does people get it? You know, I'm sure you do. My followers of gullible people who hang on every word that Del Boy in the shed has to say. No, no, no. None of you out there are critical or discerning or have your own mind. No, no. Apparently you depend on me or some other YouTube content provider for your source of information, and you just believe whatever feels good to you, apparently. No, you know, I'll take on what's objectively true. If it's shown to me, any claims that are being made, show me it practically in the objective reality, and I accept it. That's what people like me do. We embrace science, we embrace technology and understanding the substance and reality. I love it. I love building stuff. I love taking my bike apart. I love playing with my guitar, changing the strings, understanding the physics and how a guitar operates. We love it. These fuckers don't. Right? They have jumped on board real people and their journey of understanding actual reality, and they've hijacked it. They have hijacked it and twisted it, bastardized it into some fucking pish, some religious hogwash pish about, oh, reality is abstract and we can never know it and you can't trust your senses. And, well, at the same time, they're running around professing that they've got reality sewn up. Bizarre. Bizarre. So, I'm going to make a smoke and then I'll come and see what's getting said. In fact, I can do it right now. Who do we have in the chat, Marshall? Have we got anybody in here who's...
Nobody that's actually contesting anything that's being said. Well, not contesting it with any substance. A couple of clowns that have now left.
The usual. Mm-hmm. The usual.
Yeah. So it's one thing about this this static charge on the comb.
Yeah.
Was water sticking to that comb?
No.
No.
No. As I say, it doesn't matter. It's a misrepresentation of the actual claim. The claim is a potato rock with oceans stuck to and conforming to the exterior shape displayed upon the surface of the body of water. This is the thing. That's what the claim is. So show it, represent it actual to what your claim actually is. They can't. They can only employ sophism. Scattered view, shouldn't trust penguins just because they wear a suit. Well, according to some people, you shouldn't trust anything. You're just a bag of mush that has no way of discerning or experiencing anything actually tangible ever.
We've got Mr. Nobody in the chat. Mass, correct. Mass creates gravity. At what point is that demonstrable below planetary level, then, from your perspective, that is?
It's no. I need a planet. I need a planet. Right, okay, right. So you can't demonstrate it in any way, shape, or form. Nope. Well, it's no science then. It is a science. It's a science of sophistry. That's what it is. It's a science of deception. And this is, I don't know why more people are not picking up on this. They claim that mass creates gravity, right? But yet they tell you that a big bang happened and gas and dust all flew. So what created gravity there? How did gas and dust get themselves together? At what exact point, what scale, what size does the mass have to be before it will create this magical gravity? Can you demonstrate it in any practical way, shape or form? No, you cannot. Can you give me the specific details at exactly what point does a standing body of water start to be able to bend and show and display the bend upon its surface? Be precise. Come forward with precise claims and practicality. They're not going to be able to do it. I'm tired of their bollocks. The only thing from here on in is to ridicule them, to take the piss out of it. It doesn't deserve any sort of, you know, serious attention. This is another thing. Yes, we. They are that illogical that they automatically appeal to authority or groups or numbers. Right? They're no individuals with a discerning critical mind. They don't say, yes, I can, and come forward with practicality. All you get is word salad. Right. There's not really much else I can focus on with that, people. Again, I'm just going to reiterate it for anybody who's paying attention. You cannot trust a visual alone because you can be deceived on visuals, right? But if you have the actual substance, you will not be deceived because the substance is what it is, right? It has definite form to it. It has definite dimensions to it, okay? Oh, there's somebody in here now talking about quarks. More imaginative crap. More imagination and wee drawings. Come on, if there's any of you sophists out there who have an actual rebuttal in the chat, let's see it. Let me see it. Let me read it out. Uppercut quavers. At least quavers are tangible. Red Machine Kieran, yep, she shows off her breasts and she acts like a child, which is deeply concerning to me. Who are you trying to play up to? Paedophiles? I mean, Orphan Red, by all means, if you are there, come in and explain your utter fucking lunacy.
So that's that. That's the option, Sasha. No curve at GMX. I'm monitoring the mailbox if you want a link.
Yep. Let's hear what you have to say. Yep, multi-tom-tom disorder. Much of what we know about quarks we observe from hadrons, Jamie Brown. No, you don't, multi-tom-tom. This is another lunacy with people. You know, people need to start sharing direct experience, not invoking a fallacy of appealing to authority or something that is out with your direct experience. If you're not involved directly with CERN or Hadron Colliders, you shouldn't be representing it as if it's factual because you don't fucking know. Right? It was the same last night. Last night I had another email for fucking Skinny Ankles and I clicked it thinking that it was a private thing and it was a live hangout. So I trolled him, gave him a wee bit of a mouthful and then listened to the utter waffle and shit that comes out of these people's mouths. Oh, a surface of water, it doesn't show the shape underneath. So how can we trust it to tell us the dimensions of anything? And you're like, exactly. A surface of water does not show you what is underneath. So therefore, you do not live on a fucking rock. You do not live on the exterior of a fucking sphere. because water is incapable of displaying that upon its surface. Therefore, you live in a level contained system. It's no difficult. Really isn't difficult. Yes, RW, she does want attention. She wants attention from men who like little girls. She's not an intellectual. She is nobody who is going to offer anything in the way of progress in regards to this. She is a sophist. As I said, she's either seriously mentally retarded or she has an ulterior agenda which is deceptive at its very core. And I'm not going to be shy. If she wants to come in, I'll tell her that right to her face. Yeah, boxing clever round 2. Real science is the direct observations of the world at your feet, and it is fucking flat. Yeah, it's level. It's a level contained system with high points and low points, and divots and canyons and hollow parts, but it's a level contained system. If anybody has anything that they would like to add to this particular topic here today, you can join in. I'm going to open up purely for this only. I want to focus purely on that and keep it on topic, right? So just send an email to nocurve@gmx.com. I will hang off here for another 15 minutes. If anybody wants to have or add to this discussion, by all means do so. Riddle me this, she's probably one of them MK Ultra jobs. Well, you know, I really do contemplate a lot of these things and wonder where these characters come from, what their past might have been. There is, you know, and this is no offence to anybody we read here, this is not a racist thing, but there seems to be a real high level presence of troll sophist activities perpetuated by those with red hair. That's just an observation from me. Not saying that it's everybody, but there's a high percentage. So, what that means is still another part of an ongoing investigation for me.
That was that phone on.
Yep. Yeah, the phone's on. Let me see here. Alright, Dale, this character often read is clearly an abomination monster, and that voice is so fake, like it is TV equals tranny vision, not television. People need to learn human biology. The freaks are everywhere. The realist white mother in the UK, you hear me, bro. The earth is flat from Jordan in chat. Well, Timmy was in chat on Nathan Oakley channel with D Marbles tonight. Just said the audio was crap and then left. Says it all. Yeah, certainly does, man. How many chance of giving me a call later or tomorrow? Do you want the truth? Well, whoever you are, I will give you a call once I'm finished. Let me just mark that. Any requests, Marshall?
Nothing incoming at the moment, dude, but I mean, we know this mailbox lags a little bit. Yes, we got one troll in here, the same guy that professed to be a 12-year-old yesterday evening.
Right, okay.
We're not taking the bait on that, especially from somebody with that name. And I'm not even going to call it out on air. Listen, we're not going to take the anti-Semitic angle. We're not going to take any kind of religious, cultural, or political stance, and dialing in with inflammatory titles in your emails is just ridiculous and insulting. So, if you wouldn't mind, just leave it out.
Yep. Yanti Mantis, yeah, I got that. Yanti Mantis, I've just not had a chance to, I've not had the time to get through it, but I will get to it, man. You need to understand that we get so much mail and people suggesting links and blah, blah, blah. It's really hard. If you could just be in this position for 10 minutes, you would understand that it's not that it's being ignored. It's just difficult to get through everything and to have the energy and the will, the attention to have a troll through all these different things that are being sent. It's really difficult. So I will get to it. Again, the platform is here. This is the thing. It's no my responsibility or my duty to talk about every single thing. That's why it's an open platform. It gives people like you the opportunity to come and share your experience, your findings, what avenue of pursuit you're on at this moment in time, or whatever. That's what it's there for. I'm just one guy. I've not got the time or the attention to go through every single topic and every single talking point. It's ridiculous. Pete Shee, often read as another actor on the flat earth stage. They are all bundling together and are easy to identify when you have the eyes to see. I totally agree, Pete. I've seen this for a long time. It's just that they are running out of characters now. And it is too late in the game for them to bring new characters in and get them established with any sort of recognition. So they are desperately clawing with old characters and trying to bring them back. It's like a fucking episode of Neighbours. That's what it's like. There's only so many cast, but therefore, but they died 2 years ago, but we'll just make a story up and bring them back again because fuck, we're running out of material here. Yanti Mantis, no bother, man. I totally understand that. But I just want you to know that, there's reasons for why, I don't jump on things and bring them up straight away. It's because I just don't have the time. Exactly. Execrate 200. Water is the very substance that defines level. Exactly. And you've got to be a complete mong not to get it. Precisely. But these sophists will start trying to redefine what level is. Oh, it's the furthest point away from the tangent point of the centre of a fucking circle and blah, 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 blah. Stuff written in paper. Water is a substance that defines what level is. They know that. They know that. Jamesy Boy Dale, where will you be next? I would like to meet you for a flat earth chat and stay up the road in Crookston. Jamesy Boy, I don't know. I've got a couple of things that I want to pursue in the next few weeks. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be out in the street or not. There's certain places I want to target directly. And I'm not going to shout it out where I'm going to be. So, but when I'm going out maybe in Glasgow and I'm just going to do some random street stuff, then I will let you know. Dagon Morningstar Dale, we do look to you. That's a fact, buddy. Can you organise some kind of get together in Scotland, do a mass action? Well, I tried that before. And maybe at the next meeting, we can discuss that offline amongst ourselves and we can arrange, a group of us to go out and get active in certain places. So we'll look at that for the next time. But there's going to be some meetings coming up at the end of this month, start of November. It's cool, boxing clever. It's just, you know, I'm saying it to people who think they've got something to offer, and if they have, you know, the best thing for them to do is to get on here and express it and share it with everybody. Share their direct experience. That's what we're looking for. Georgie boy, you've ordered some welding glass to check the sun out. Nice one. Bring some weed. Flatman John Dale, why do you have an owl tattoo with a pine cone? The pine cone was part of my journey and delving into things like the pineal gland, and it was represented as a pine cone and blah blah blah. So the tattooing is part of that kind of journey and that expression. The owl was a symbol of wisdom, and that was incorporated into it. So T-Roy, what's up there? Hope all is well, mate. Keep pushing the truth, brother. Thank you very much, T-Roy. Rue 247, a body of water has weight. You tip it, it will run from one side to another, but will never bend. Precisely, Rue 247, that is exactly the point we have been making over and over again. And these sophists, these ignoramuses, try and avoid that. I know, Kieran. Hopefully that's not going to happen. Captain Kirk, they'll need to video sun. I seen a bright white disc next to the sun, not the moon. And the number there again, cheers John, is 07393 654 544. Dagon Morningstar, want to buy you a pint, Dale? Don't drink, man. You can buy me an Earl Grey if you like, though. Twitwit, those tattoos sound Illuminati-ish. Twitwit, fuck off. I see you with your wrenches over at these fucking dipshits fucking hangouts. Don't start these tattoos are Illuminati-ish. Aye, because I went through the same process as everybody else, listening to the truth movement and seeing all this ridiculous pish shown to me left, right and centre. And I adopted some of the imagery because I liked it. And I wanted to incorporate it as part of my journey and express myself. Right, because that's where I was in a previous state of mind, outwardly projecting who I was and putting tattoos on myself and all this stuff. That's what it must be, Twitwit. You've cracked the code. The Illuminati's really people who live in housing schemes that are skint, that sit in their shed. That's right. It's a network of shed dwellers who are controlling the world with no budget. Just the power of the pineal gland and the tattoo symbols that I can use to invoke mystical energies to enter the pineal gland that can emanate into the world and make you do stupid stuff like believe you live on a testicle in a vacuum. Fuck me. Red Machine, I have no shame or embarrassment about any of my tattoos. It's a journey. Exactly, mate. Good times for all. Nice to see you there. When shooting long distances, there are so many variables that firing in any opposite direction will result in different results. Wind, humidity, temperature, and your finger. Spot on, man. These are the things that in actual reality have to be taken into consideration. No nonsensical, idiotic, kid-on forces. Muttman Heidel, the elitist shed dweller of the masses, yes. Welcome. As I anathematize all of those who oppose me. Don't summon the devil. Don't call the priests. Sorry, mate, I'm on a live thing here, man. Yeah. Aye. Sorry, mate. Oh, that was my Illuminati henchman there. T-Roy, that's it. Dweller of Sheds, Master of Glands, you're spot on. You have found the path. All you need to do out there, anybody, is send me 10,000 squids and you shall be invited into the circle of Illuminati shed-dwelling pineal gland expertise. 10,000 quid is all you need to do. Send me that immediately and you shall be inaugurated. Awake Souls, did you rebuttal Orphan Red's garbage video yet? Yes, I certainly did. Awake Souls, easy peasy. Are you still out there calling me some sort of shill because I didn't shout out your experiment that I never knew anything about? Hugo Stockholm, Dale has the intellect of a high-ranking Freemason. I am the highest. The highest. The way they decide it is on how big your nose is. So, I'm right up there. I'm fucking right up there. And the fact that I have an arse chin, as depicted from some of the godly-like characters, that puts me even higher. Flatlander sheds are being built now in a backyard near you, yes, using spirit levels, using actual substance. I don't know why these people are building sheds, because apparently from Orphan Red and the likes, there's no way of ever trusting your senses, so why the fuck are you even building a shed? Twitlet, your face is nice, you just look tired. Well, that's what happens when you have a greeting-faced one-year-old who gets up all through the night. And as well as having to deal with greeting-faced one-year-olds online continually, it does take its toll a wee bit, I must admit. Twit. Globehead no more, Dale. I want to email you to talk, man. Well, no probs, Globehead no more. Just send a wee email to nocurve@gmx.com. Oops. Love song, low stereo Dale, you got the best shed, mate. Yeah, well, you know, these people who want to be brought into the inner circle of Illuminati pineal gland expertise, you know, part of the ritual is that you have to march in an easterly direction, run the shed for 3 hours chanting Del is Magnifico, right? And then that'll get you a higher place. The 10,000 is not really what's important. No, he's not knocked me out in the high street yet. No. I keep forgetting when I'm up the high street that he take my shed with me so that he can burn it while he's knocking me out. Maybe he could knock me out, put me in the shed and then burn it. Oh, Brenda's here. Brenda's in the fucking the Google thing harassing yet again. I mean, I've messaged these people so many times saying, look, stalker, we do not want to be contacted by you. We do not want to hear your lunacy anymore. No more. But they just don't get it. There's something missing up there. Something missing. Oh, is Bill there? How you doing, Bill? Cheers, man. Hope you're well. Right, people, we're not getting any requests. Nobody is coming in to defend the lunacy that we can't trust our senses in reality. Nobody's coming to defend any of that. It's only Muppets who say stuff like that. Let me just see here. Mobile Shed, I think we'll do a world tour. And what I'll do is I'll just get the shed and we'll set it up in different venues. And you can all bring me your 10,000 quid and march run it. So if there's a venue somewhere run about you and you would like Beyond Imaginary Curve Roadshow to show up with the pineal gland expertise and the shed, let us know. Exactly, Execrate 200. The only balls they have are imaginary ones in their heads. The only place globes exist is on plastic form or on a TV screen. If I can circumnavigate my shed uppercut, does that mean that my shed is now a globe? What if I use a sextant in planar geometry to work out where the screw points are in the roof of my shed? Would that then prove that my shed was a globe? Oh, look up there, it's slanted, therefore I live on a slant. Twit, what I think Dale should travel around Europe in his mobile shed. Yeah, so they are. Twit, twit. Cheers, Bill. A nice, clean, well-painted shed. Smoking is one small crack in a dam is enough to knock down a concrete dam barrier, and yet the globe, with just, where the fuck did that go? Made up magical force of gravity can hold all the world's oceans to a ball. Yeah. Oh, missed it. Oops. Stone Tarry, no, I don't know about Tartaria. I'll check that out though. Tartaria. I'll check that out, man. Cheers for that. Right, people, I'm off. Cheers for tuning in. Again, you know, don't accept this nonsense. Stand up to it and understand it. What these people are doing and trying to misrepresent the actual claims, and this whole nonsense about you can never trust your senses to know anything about the objective world you're living in. It's total bollocks, right? They don't talk about it honestly and openly. Visuals are not enough because you can be deceived by visuals alone. I have made videos about this long ago, highlighting the very thing. I used imagery from Browse Pup, who Orphan Red has used their images from. Okay, so there's a difference between tangibles and visibles, right? In order to know something, it has to be tangible. You have to be able to get all the way around it, look into it, understand the substance of it, what makes it up, how it operates, right? The full dimensions of it, okay? None of that's going to change, you know, based on your perceptions or your beliefs. It is what it is. A square house brick with all its corners and points is going to impact your skull regardless of what you believe. Okay? There is an objective reality. It is really there. It's really happening. And it can be known. So, take it easy, people. Don't stand for the bollocks. Stand up to the bollocks. Call it out. Have a no-nonsense approach to it. Call it for what it is. Don't apologise for it either. Right? Be you. Stand up to it. Commit to what you know. Commit to your direct experience. Don't let these people away with trying to rob that from anybody. I ain't going to let them away with it. I don't accept it. Right? So, cheers, people. Take it easy. Marshall, Jonah Worms, Magumba, thank you. Always. See you soon, people.